If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Wait for the green light before proceeding. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Stop before crossing the intersection. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow traffic light means drivers must slow down, be more aware, and proceed with caution. Be alert to crossing traffic and pedestrians. You should drive on the shoulder to pass a car? A. If the vehicle ahead of you is turning left. B. Under no circumstances. C. If the shoulder is wide enough. B. Under no circumstances. Passing on the right is permissible only if it is possible to do so without driving off the roadway. Never pass another vehicle on the shoulder because the other driver will not expect you to be there and may pull off the road. Trucks' blind spots are A. Directly behind the body. B. On the immediate left of the cab. C. Both on the immediate left of the cab and directly behind the body. C. Both on the immediate left of the cab and directly behind the body. A truck's blind spots are much larger than a smaller car's blind spots. The driver cannot see your car behind their vehicle, and you can't see what's happening in traffic ahead if you're driving too closely behind the truck. Whether you are driving behind or to the side of the truck, if you can't see the driver's face in their side view mirror, then they can't see you. When you drive through a construction zone, you should A. Stop to watch the workers. B. Decrease your following distance. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. To avoid contributing to chronic traffic congestion, you should not rubberneck. That is, you should not slow down to look at out of the ordinary things.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Handicap parking spaces are available. A. To anyone, but only if all other spaces are occupied. B. Only to drivers with the appropriate license plate or hanging tag. C. To people who are not feeling well. B. Only to drivers with the appropriate license plate or hanging tag. Marked handicap parking spaces should be used only by persons with disabilities as defined under state law. To park in a handicap parking space, you must have the appropriate license plate or hanging tag displaying the international symbol. If you parallel park facing downward on a hill, A. Turn your wheels sharply toward the side of the road. B. Turn your wheels away from the side of the road. C. Keep your wheels straight. A. Turn your wheels sharply toward the side of the road. When parking downhill, turn your front wheels toward the curb or edge of the road. When parking uphill on a road without a curb, turn your wheels toward the edge of the road. When parking uphill on a road with a curb, you must turn your front wheels away from the curb. Safety belts should be fastened. A. Whenever you feel unsafe. B. Before the engine is started. C. After reaching speeds of 45 miles per hour. B. Before the engine is started. Your safety belt should be fastened before the engine is started. Drivers are required by law to use their seat belts in a moving vehicle. When crossing a sidewalk while entering or exiting a driveway, drivers A. Have the right of way. B. Should yield to pedestrians. C. Should honk at pedestrians to get them to clear a path. B. Should yield to pedestrians. Drivers crossing a sidewalk when entering or exiting a driveway, alley, or parking lot must yield to pedestrians. It is illegal to drive on a sidewalk except to cross it. To help others see you when daylight begins to fade, you should use your A. Parking lights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Emergency flashers. B. Low beam headlights. As daylight begins to fade, turn on your low beams to help others see you. Only use your high beam headlights in an open area where no other drivers are present. If there is no crosswalk and you see a pedestrian crossing your lane, you should A. Make sure the pedestrian can see you before proceeding. B. Cautiously drive around the pedestrian. C. Stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. When a pedestrian guided by a dog or carrying a white cane is crossing the street. A. You must always yield the right of way. B. You must tell them where to cross the street. C. You only have to yield the right of way if you are at a corner. A. You must always yield the right of way. Blind or partially blind pedestrians may carry a white cane or use the assistance of a guide dog. You must always yield the right of way to a pedestrian who is using a guide dog or carrying a white cane. Construction zone signs are generally A. Square or rectangular with white and red coloring. B. Round or octagonal with black and yellow coloring. C. Diamond-shaped or rectangular with orange and black coloring. C. Diamond-shaped or rectangular with orange and black coloring. All temporary signs in work zones have an orange background with black letters or symbols. These signs are found on the right side of the road, or on both the left and right sides if the roadway is a divided highway. If you are approaching a railroad crossing that has no safety barrier in place, you should A. Assume that trains usually don't cross there. B. Cross the tracks only after looking both ways to check for an oncoming train. C. Quickly cross the tracks if it looks like you can beat an oncoming train. B. Cross the tracks only after looking both ways to check for an oncoming train. If you are approaching a railroad crossing that has no safety barrier, cross the tracks only after checking in both directions for any oncoming trains. If a train is approaching, come to a complete stop at a safe distance and wait for the train to pass. Never try to outdrive a train. When parallel parking, you should park within fill in the blank inches of the curb. A. 6. B. 12. C. 18. C. 18. When parallel parking, your vehicle should be no more than 18 inches from the curb. Always park in a place that is visible to drivers coming from both directions. Before switching on the ignition, you should A. Buckle your safety belt. B. Be sure all passengers have buckled their safety belts. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Develop a routine for entering and leaving your car. Before switching on the ignition, buckle your safety belt and see that all passengers do likewise. On a freeway, you should look farther ahead than you would on a city street. A. In order to see potential hazards early. B. Because it takes a quarter of a mile to stop your vehicle completely. C. Because it helps you keep up with traffic. A. in order to see potential hazards early. On the freeway, be ready for changes in traffic conditions. Watch for signals from other drivers. Expect merging vehicles at on-ramps and interchanges and be prepared for rapid changes in road conditions and traffic flow. A dashed white line down the center of a two-lane road indicates that a. Lanes travel in opposite directions and drivers are permitted to pass. b. Lanes travel in the same direction and drivers are permitted to pass. c. Lanes travel in opposite directions and drivers are not permitted to pass. b. Lanes travel in the same direction and drivers are permitted to pass. When a line separating lanes of traffic is dashed, drivers may cross the line to pass or change lanes. White lines separate lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. A solid white line down the center of a road indicates that a. Lanes travel in opposite directions and drivers are permitted to pass. b. Lanes travel in the same direction and drivers are permitted to pass. c. Lanes travel in the same direction and drivers are not permitted to pass. c. Lanes travel in the same direction and drivers are not permitted to pass. If a line separating lanes of traffic is solid, drivers may not cross the line to pass or change lanes. White lines separate lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. This sign indicates that a. There is a steep hill ahead. b. No trucks are allowed on the upcoming hill. c. A logging road is ahead. a. There is a steep hill ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers about an upcoming steep hill. Drivers should slow down and be ready to control their speed and protect their brakes from damage. This sign means a. Crossroad ahead. b. Merge. c. Stop. a. Crossroad ahead. This sign indicates that there is a crossroad ahead. Before changing lanes or attempting to pass another vehicle, you should a. Check your blind spots and mirrors. b. Signal your intention before changing lanes. c. All of the above. c. All of the above. Every time you want to change lanes or otherwise move your vehicle to the right or left, signal to alert other drivers to your intentions. Always check your mirrors and turn your head to check your blind spot before attempting any lateral move. The first thing that alcohol affects is a. Vision. b. Judgment. c. Balance. b. Judgment. Alcohol reduces all of the important abilities you need to drive safely. Alcohol goes from your stomach to your blood, then from your blood to all other parts of your body. Alcohol affects the areas of your brain that control judgment and skill. What does this road sign mean? a. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. b. Always stop. c. Divided highway ahead. a. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that merging traffic will be entering from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow the incoming traffic to safely merge. How can you effectively practice defensive driving? a. Scan the road ahead. b. Rubberneck. c. Stare straight ahead. a. Scan the road ahead. Practice good defensive driving by being alert and scanning the road ahead. Scanning the road allows you to see upcoming road hazards and will give you time to react safely and appropriately. As the percentage of alcohol (BAC) in your blood increases, you become A. More intoxicated, B. More sober, C. More coordinated. A. More intoxicated. Blood alcohol concentration (BAC) is a measure of the percentage of alcohol in a person's blood. The higher the BAC, the more impaired a person is.